everyone.
Yes, happy holidays.
Unapologetically significant coming at you for the holidays.
Yes, we're
With
going to talk about life, love, healing, and
Don't burn yourself up in the kitchen.
disaster. Dun, 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 dun.
You don't want to be the ones that need some 100 times wash ski for
Oh,
all the burns that you're going to get during the holidays.
yeah.
So we're just going to give you some tidbits, and we know people out there have all levels of experience.
Mhm.
Some are very good in the kitchen, some not so much, and some maybe you're fairly young in the kitchen.
Mhm.
So, we want to just kind of broad stroke this thing because a lot of you already know this. But if you don't hear it over and over again,
Right.
sometimes you
Muscle
get,
memory.
yeah, and you tend to forget, and you're all wrapped up in the holidays, and doorbell just rang, and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. So we're going to touch on a bunch of stuff today. More, what will we entitle it? It could be kitchen dangers or
Disasters, because
ooh,
usually it goes wrong.
recipe. Ooh, so did something happen? Now you're trying to make up for it. Oh, we gotta make something else real quick.
Exactly. But you know what? As we're approaching, I mean, this is not just for the holidays, but because it's the holidays, you're going to be in your kitchen a little bit more than normal or
Hmm.
for longer periods of time. It's like, what do you do in a case of emergency? We always think we know what we're going to do until something happens. Mike Tyson says, everything's all good until you get punched in the face. And this is what happens when you get punched in the face in the kitchen and a fire breaks out or little things. And Rich and I were talking earlier, and I was saying, I know you're going to get to this. So I'm going to spoiler alert about fire
Okay.
extinguishers. Like, I've been in the kitchen over, I don't even know, like
Long
literally all
time.
my life, all my life. And I've never really used a fire extinguisher. So I would think if an emergency comes out, I'm not going to have time to read the fine print and figure it out. But we're going to get to that. But I just want to let you know, like, this shit happens to all of us. Okay. So when in lieu, we want to make sure that we all kind of know best practices and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. And
So,
go.
so we're gonna break this down. Probably we'll be going back and forth, but kind of two different segments. Some of the normal dangers in the kitchen. We'll get to some of the cooking stuff and some of the particulars. But how about a couple of stats right
Let's give
off
it
the
to 'em.
bat? So, of all house fires that occur, and there are a lot of them, 52% started in the kitchen cooking. 52%,
That's
that's over half of the fires. So what is going on in the
yeah.
kitchen? That's one stat. What was the other one? Uh, so fires that occur on Thanksgiving, 80% of those started in the kitchen.
Mm.
Oh,
And I'm sure one of them had to do with the turkey fryer. At
oh
least
yeah.
a large percentage. Leave that to the professionals, you guys. Like, nobody needs a whole vat of hot oil to
Yeah,
cook a
that,
turkey. I mean, unless you've done it. I mean, that's your thing. Like, go ahead,
yeah,
go have at
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
leave it to the professionals.
I like to look at it as a risk assessment.
Exactly. Like my skill set versus
Right, right. So let's just go ahead and dive in here. So we're in preparation for cooking or just being in the kitchen in general. A couple of things that come to mind, a couple, but start off with a couple. Let's say around the holidays, you got a lot of things cooking. You got crock pots going. You got
Mhm.
this, you got that. And kitchens typically don't come with enough outlets.
Yeah.
So people will, either get a strip or they'll get some sort of extension cord type of thing, and they start.
What do they call it? The power strips
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the power
power
strips, which
strips.
it has several, maybe
Yes,
like 6 to 10
yeah,
plugs that
the
you can
plugs.
plug in there.
Best ones to have, by
Yeah.
the way,
The surge
because
protectors.
yeah, surge
That's what it's
protector,
called.
because there's a circuit breaker in there,
Mm-hmm.
and when things get overloaded, it just shuts off. As opposed to going to Home Depot and getting one of those 8 outlet things that you just plug in the wall and then you can plug everything into
Yeah.
them. Not the best. Not the best. Because if that overheats, hopefully your circuit breaker outside works and shuts off that circuit. But if it doesn't, it's going to overheat. And you got an electrical fire.
Yeah.
Now that's a whole different ball game there. So when it comes to stringing things together, don't string one extension cord to another or one power strip to another. a surge protector to another. Don't make a daisy chain.
You just pissed a lot of people off right now because we're all like, oh, snap. This is what I do. This is like, you probably have it right now under your desk. That's the way it is. So you in the back,
That's
stop it.
right.
Stop that right now.
That's
It's
right.
dangerous. Like, I get it. We all want to have that ease of use and access, but it is extremely dangerous.
Yes, it is. And, included in that, those what do you call it, plug devices you can get that you just plug into the wall and you plug 6, 8, 10 things into it. Do not take that and plug it into the power strip or the surge protector.
Yeah.
Just because there's 3 holes in there.
Does not
doesn't
mean you're supposed to put that in.
So now you done went from 6 on this thing, now you're up to 12. And that's not good. It's just not good. The chances of something happening too high. So we've got that taken
Yep.
care of. Okay. Now let's just jump into the fire thing since that's such a big
Yeah.
deal. So the thing is with fires, you have different types of fires, obviously, that can occur. You could be cooking something on the stove. You can have something in the oven, something in the microwave. It can be a grease fire. You're doing, cooking with grease. There could be, all the liquid is out of a pot. All of a sudden, everything burning up in there. There's different kinds of fires. So a couple of things that would be handy to have on hand is number one. Yes.
Well, I would say you definitely need to have lids. Would be a quick little small something you can do. Because basically what you want to do is you want to smother it. You
Right.
want to smother the fire. So if you have something that's getting out of control, obviously put the lid on it, take it off the heat. Quick, easy, right? Pot holders.
Yep.
Am I stealing your thunder?
No,
right
no,
now? Okay,
no. Go
pot
ahead.
holders. Make sure you
It's
have
equal
pot.
opportunity show here.
Thank you. Pot holders. Pot holders are key. I have a million of them. All
Good potholders.
good pot holders. And I was going to go into that with silicone. You have some little half mitt ones that just kind of cover your fingers. Like, I mean, they're cute, but like, what's the point? Like, I don't want to be juggling something hot and then just pinching it with my fingers. You want a whole glove, okay? A mitt, preferably with silicone on the end. So when it heats up, you don't feel that heat. You can hold it for a while before actually feeling the heat. If you're feeling the heat, it's two things. A, you're holding it too dang long, or B, your gloves aren't insulated enough to be using for oven stuff. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So lids, mitts, and go with your new favorite toy.
Before we jump into that, something that has popped up was, what if we have some old school folks out there that have the square pot holders?
Oh, yeah.
And you got to grab them and then you're trying to get it on the
No.
handle.
We want to protect your hands, okay? The whole purpose of this is to protect your hands. So if your doctor came in and he didn't have gloves, okay, and he's just trying to mouse around with tissue paper, like, come on, y'all, it's not going to happen. So, like, take it seriously, invest in it. A good pair of gloves might run you $10. Like, they're not expensive when you think of the bigger picture. I'm a fan of the dollar store for certain things and not for oven mitts. Okay, those are for decoration just to be cute. But you want something that's standing. And I also see those square mats that my grandmother used to put like hot things on the table. She would put a mat down and put it on there. Those could be questionable too, because you're putting hot on just like cotton. It's just material. So if it's hot enough, it will start to burn.
Yeah. Flash. Yep.
It's a flash burn. So depending on what other microfibers or polyester blends are in that, which polyester is bad, so you already know that. But we really want to make sure you have something that's big enough for your hands. Or if you have big hands, small hands, they come in a variation of sizes. Please get them appropriately for you, because we don't want to look. Y'all see burn. Like, I'm very savvy in the kitchen, but it happens. That's why it's called an accident. But there's certain things that we want to make sure we're doing to be preventative.
Okay, good. All right. So
The blanket.
Blankets and fire extinguishers. Which is the best? Well, in my opinion, if you don't know how to use a fire
Which
extinguisher.
none of y'all do. Because when is the last time did you use
Yeah,
a fire
exactly.
extinguisher?
So a fire breaks out. Say you do have a fire extinguisher, somewhere in the kitchen. You go over and get it. Now you're reading the instructions.
Mhm.
Now the fire is getting bigger, and you're trying to figure out how to get the pin out.
Yeah.
Does the pin come out? How does it come
Yeah.
out? Then it's got instructions on it. And have you looked to see if it needed to be recharged? There may be nothing in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Once a year, y'all. And I didn't know this. I own this because I own a food truck, and we have to get inspected. In the beginning, it was every 6 months, but then they were like, "Okay, you know what you're doing." So they
Mhm.
pushed it out to once a year. I have to have those fire extinguishers tagged, to show that it's
Mhm.
something's still in there and it actually works. So I believe you can go to any of the hardware stores, they can check
Mhm.
that for you. Go to the fire department, they can
Yeah.
check that for you. It's just it would suck to be in a situation where you need something and don't have it. I'd rather have it and not need it versus not have it or
Right.
have it
Right.
working properly. Like,
Right.
it'll take you an extra 15 minutes. Like,
Yep.
is your kitchen, your mortgage, your family?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep. Yep.
I don't know if anybody's ever seen or been to a burn unit at the hospital. No bueno. It's not cool. I touched on this earlier. I'm gonna let you go that my son was working a smoker, which is I'm sure we're part of this 80% working a smoker during the holidays, and he didn't think it was lit, and when he went to do something to it, it a big ball of fire came out, and it burned. I would say probably like 80%, 75, 80% of his leg, like the skin gone, falling off, like melted. Um, yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens
Stuff
when you least
happens.
suspect it. And they were running around like they didn't know what to do. Like, what do you do when somebody has a burn like this?
Mhm.
What do you do when your kitchen kicks up and you have the grease is too high and you add a little bit of water and it splatters and it catches the paper towel that was next to it, and now you got
Right. Right. Got chaos
a
on.
situation.
Yeah. And the thing to realize is fire is faster than you are.
Yep.
Fire can spread so fast. It's unbelievable because, all you need is for it to disperse by several means. Now you got one over here, you got one over here. It catches this on fire. And then, if it say it's a paper towel and you got the heat coming up, well, that little piece of that paper
Float
towel
off.
float off, goes on the carpet. Now you got the carpet on fire.
Mhm.
Now you got the couch on fire. I mean, it can happen so quickly, which is why you got to be prepared for it. So, fire extinguisher. If you don't know how to use one, I would suggest get a fire blanket because they do sell fire blankets. And so, say something on the stove catches on fire, okay, and you can put the lid on, as she suggested. If it's safe to do that, don't stick a hand in the
Right.
fire.
That'd be awesome.
And then you just take the blanket and you put the blanket over top of it, and it smothers the oxygen. The fire goes out, and you can use that blanket for not just the kitchen, anywhere in the house where a small fire.
Let us be very clear. A fire blanket is a utility. Okay. It's not your kid's Spider-Man blanket. Two different things. Am I lying?
No, you're not.
Okay. Blanket. Don't just stick to the word blanket and think that you can cover any fire with a blanket. It's not going to happen.
It's not like on TV.
It's not. This is not that.
Because that person burning up underneath that
Yeah.
blanket.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, we ain't even going to go there. But just very clear. Fire blanket is a patented item,
Yes.
utility item that is designed to smother fires.
Yes.
Okay, people?
Yes.
We're good? Okay.
Okay. So,
As you were.
okay. So we got the fire blanket instead of the the fire extinguisher. Now I won't get into how you work a fire extinguisher
Yeah.
because
Watch a video.
yeah,
YouTube.
watch a video. Um, okay. So what happens if you have a fire in the oven?
Mhm.
What do you do? Do you open the oven and try and stick the blanket in on this thing?
Wrong
No, you,
answer.
you don't do that. Do you try and get it out, that whatever's on fire, out real quick and, try and do what? Well, I know people that have told me they have grabbed something out of the oven and ran outside to put it outside.
Mhm.
Well, you're lucky if you make it
Yeah.
outside.
Now the flames are going
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
only up, but out. And,
Out now it burns you. You drop
yeah.
it. Now you got 12 fires instead of one.
Yep.
So, the best thing to do is to shut the temperature off on that thing and do not open the lid on the oven
Why is that?
because the oven oxygen will not get into the oven, and that fire will use up the oxygen that's in there, and then it'll just go out. That bead of material you see that goes around the edge of the oven, well, that's not only for to keep the temperature in, it's also fire resistant, also blocks oxygen because you don't want extra oxygen going into the oven. I mean,
That just fuels
uh,
the fire.
yeah, it
Makes
just
it
fuels the fire, and you'll end up having fires every time you use the oven. So shut it off and just leave it in there, and it will go out. Everything in there is fire resistant, so the walls are not going to burn or anything like that. Just leave it in there. I know whatever you want to save that mac and
let it go.
cheese or
Let it
whatever.
go.
Yeah, just let it go. Live to cook another day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, okay. So those are fires.
Mm-hmm.
Think we beat that one enough.
Yeah.
What else have we got in there?
Again, holidays or anytime you have a big family, you're cooking, you have multiple pots going on at the same time. One of the key things is the handles to the pots.
Hmm.
You want to spin those in. Okay. You don't, and this seems like a no brainer, but people do it all the time. You don't want somebody to walk by and bump one of those handles that are sticking by that are in the kitchen. You don't want a kid to grab a handle and it fall down and that be a terrible situation. But you want to make sure your handles are turned in, not outwards towards
Right.
the outer part of the stove.
Right. Good point. Good
Mhm.
point. The dishwasher door.
Mm,
Don't leave it down while you're cooking. You got to move
yeah.
quickly, and all of a sudden you run
Oh,
into
I've
that
done it.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of bad words come out at that point.
And those hinges aren't the strongest thing,
Yeah.
so you probably end up breaking the door or something,
Hmm.
especially if you fall on it or something. Then you got to get in the dishwasher. So make sure that thing's up. Give yourself some space
Yeah.
in there. You can't be all crowded. And people are always saying, "Well, come in and help me." Well, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We all can use some help in there, but just make sure around the cooking area you don't have it all congested like it's rush hour
Hmm.
or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And speaking of oven doors, that's a big thing, and they do it at my house. So I know we're not the only household that does that. When you're taking something out, you're gonna take it out real quick and you're gonna put something else in so you don't want to lose all the heat. So you pull the oven door halfway and then you reach in
Ooh,
and you
ooh,
grab the cookies out or you grab the pie out. Don't
ooh.
do that, y'all. Like it's not that serious. Open the door in its entirety. Okay. Pull the item out with your new gloves. I call them
Right.
gloves. Pull it out. Make sure you have a place to set it down and then close the oven door. Okay.
Mhm.
Because oftentimes we're opening halfway and then we pull it out,
Right.
we
Right.
shut the oven door, and then we're turning around trying to find a place to put the hot item. Like,
Right.
make sure your place is clear. That way it minimizes risk of you putting it on something or touching something that's already hot or
Hmm.
flammable or that could catch.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't catch a full fire, nobody wants to smell that smoky
Right.
smell. It's hard to get it out, right?
And while we're on that oven door, and I'm sure you all have done it, when you open that door, don't be sitting there right there next to it, because you know how that heat jumps on you and it
Yeah.
fogs up your glasses and whatnot.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Mm,
Don't do that. Stand back a little bit, open the door, then go towards that. Those 3 seconds is not gonna,
make or break the
yeah,
deal.
no, not gonna do that. So just because you can get startled, if somebody's talking to you, you open it and
Mhm.
and then you may bump into somebody or whatever. It's all about safety.
It is.
That's really what it's all about.
It is.
Thermometer.
Oh,
Where's that thing at? I haven't seen it in a year and a half.
every household should have a thermometer. I think when you purchase a house and the little gift basket that the realtor gives you, they should give you that meat thermometer in there. Not even a candy thermometer, but a meat thermometer. You guys, this is imperative, especially when you're cooking for someone else. Like the worst thing to do is get somebody else sick, right?
Mhm.
You do it to yourself, that's on you. But you do it to somebody else, that's a whole nother type of kitchen karma that you're gonna have to deal with later. Take a meat thermometer. There's a million, hundreds on the market. Your average meat thermometer, a really good one, would be anywhere from like 15 to 20 bucks. That's 15 to 20 bucks could save somebody's life.
I see a couple people now, 15, 20 bucks. I got mine for $3.
Yeah. Well, let's just test it. You can you can calibrate them too, right? Put it in some ice water, get a cup of ice water, put it in there, see what the temperature says. Get a cup of hot water, see what it says. But when you are cooking, especially around the holidays, hams, turkeys, chicken, pork, all of that stuff, you want a meat thermometer.
Accuracy
is key. Put it in there, and you want to put it in the biggest part of the meat. Okay, so the biggest, thickest, fattest part of the meat, because that's what you want to check. Everything else is going to be done around that. If it says 165 on the in that part, then the rest has got to be at least that, if not higher.
Okay.
But that is key. Get a meat thermometer. Like, don't think like, oh, my mama said it smells brown. Y'all know I use that one. I love it. It smells brown. It's done. Or the ancestor said it needs 5 more minutes. Okay, look, trust but verify. Trust but verify.
So now when you're using this meat thermometer, I've seen people do all kinds of things with it. Some just put the tip in there and about
Yeah.
half an inch. Others put it all the way in up to the thing that reads.
Mm-hmm.
So halfway in, I mean, obviously it depends on how thick the meat is, but
Yeah, it
as a
depends
rule
on
of
how
thumb.
it depends on how thick the portion of. Again, though, you want to go to the thickest portion of the meat, and you want it in there. Period. And if it's pretty thick, you're gonna want it all the way in there till you can get a good read. So you
Okay.
want it has to go through the center part of that. So if it's an inch, you need to go down about a half an inch, right?
So
you
I got
want
a
that
big
center
ass
part of it.
turkey sitting in front of me.
Get one of those little things that pops up, but then check it again. Like, it comes with it. I'm just saying.
Okay, I didn't get one of those. I got the Joe
Yeah.
Special.
Yeah.
And so where on this thing do I insert this thermometer?
You want it in the breast. You want to go. You can go down. I'm doing visuals. I don't know if you can even see me. This is a podcast. My bad. But you can go. You want to put that thermometer down or through the middle. You want to make sure it's in the middle of that breast, because that's the
Okay.
thickest part of the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do I have to worry about the legs too?
I mean, check the legs. I don't necessarily check the legs because they're a little bit, they're smaller, and I know if I got that um, internal, thank you, temperature on the chicken breast, 165, I'm good on the legs.
Okay.
And they usually it depends on how you cook your turkey. I can give you some tips later. If you're letting it sit in the juice, right, the turkey juice, it's going to boil, so you're good on that. You know what I mean?
Well, if
But
I got it in a bag.
if you have a bag, it's still going to go to the bottom. But let me tell you about that. You want to have it in a bag, but then you want it sitting on a rack too. It helps that air circulate, right? You want the air to circulate on a good turkey or a good ham. You want it to get around. So that first portion of it, you put it on a rack so those drippings can drip down, but the bag will catch them. So you'll get all that liquid gold and you can save it for later to make your gravies and your sauce and whatever.
Okay.
But then you're going to put it back in there without the rack so it can get that golden crispy deliciousness. And it'll be done. It will definitely be done, but it's going to be in there for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
And you know, the bag always says put a little bit of flour in there. And I know people that why they put flour in there? That don't make no sense. Yeah, I'll slit it. That makes sense to me. So the thing doesn't blow up in there. So why do I have to put flour in there?
Well, you tell me if you know something else. I know the flour is just to help make a roux, basically a thickener agent for like a gravy. Where'd you find out?
It deals with static electricity built up.
Oh, see?
So, you know, when that bag starts to inflate, you know, it can build up static electricity. And that's not a good thing because that can rip the bag open and do all kinds of stuff. So you put a little bit of flour, they put a teaspoon or whatever, tablespoon, whatever you put in there.
Tablespoon.
And you kind of shake it around there. Well, that goes on inside that bag so that it'll dissipate any kind of static electricity.
I had no idea.
So
I had no idea.
Well, there you go. Look at that. I got one on the chef.
It does.
That's the first one in 5 years. I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? We got a whole laundry list here.
Good.
Clothing.
Oh.
Don't be going in with your Easter outfit on.
From the polyester. Sorry, y'all. Your wool jacket. Your mink stove.
Yeah, you don't want anything loose, too loose, obviously. Um,
You wanna be comfortable and
yeah,
agile, ready
yeah,
to move, right?
yeah,
You wanna feel, you do what you wanna do,
yeah,
okay?
yeah,
First and foremost, but you wanna be loose and comfortable when you're in the kitchen.
yeah.
I am a big fan of closed-toe shoes because things spill and drop all
Good
the
point.
time.
Good point.
Yeah, and aprons. Because even when you're cooking at home, you'll notice that you're wiping your hands off. Sometimes if you're moving too fast, you don't even realize it, but you're wiping it on the side of your pants or on your shirt.
Hmm.
It's an involuntary motion that most people don't notice unless you have a camera and you run it back like, "Damn, I didn't even realize I
Yeah,
did that."
yeah,
So
yeah.
aprons are good that you do that are strictly used in the kitchen. You don't walk outside and take a smoke break. You don't go take out the trash. It's an apron that's specifically for that area of your house or business.
Okay.
Closed-toe
Good.
shoes is key.
Good point. Good point.
Mhm.
Now we got the meal on the table.
Mhm, mhm.
People live, they're eating and doing their thing. How long can you leave this stuff out?
Get a meat thermometer. Yeah, get your thermometer. No, I'm not a fan of like meat sitting out all day, but I am a person. I was a college student, so I ate day old pizza that, from the night before, and I'm still alive. So,
But there's got to be certain things, like yeah.
anything with dairy or meat should
Mhm.
be kept at a certain temperature. So,
Okay.
me personally, if it were me, there's these heating pads that you can get now. Used to
Mhm.
have like all these crock pots, right, with the
Mhm.
jumping of the cables. But now they have heating pads. Like you lay it out, it's super flat and it keeps things constantly
Okay.
warm.
Okay.
You do have to stir those. Do not let them just sit there all day. You might need to add a little
Yeah.
liquid, a vegetable broth or water to make sure that they're not just drying out because don't nobody want no dry food.
Yeah.
Um,
Now that doesn't mean letting it sit there for 6 hours.
no, 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 no. A couple
'Cause people will cook and everything.
yeah.
Well, I'm just going to leave it there because anybody wants to come back or this or that.
Mhm.
And 1 hour goes by, 2 hours
2
goes
hours.
by.
It's every family will say, "No, it sits there till we leave because we're gonna go back and make sandwiches after we're done playing, Uno or after watching football." Take your chances,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Certain things, those deviled eggs, not that they last long in our house, you know, keep them on something cold.
Right. What about rice?
Okay,
Rice gets more people sick, and people don't even know that because they left the rice out too long.
rice is the biggest offender of of food poisoning next to chicken and fish in that order. And you guys can fact check me, but it's up there. It's in the top 3. You cannot do that. Keep it in a crock pot where it's constantly staying hot. Don't worry about it drying out or getting sticky. People gonna eat it anyways. Or make smaller batches
Right.
and make them or keep it in the refrigerator and then take it out when people are getting there. This is why it's so key. And this is one of my pet peeves.
Oh, here we go.
If I tell you the party starts at 7, that means the party starts at 7. Okay. That means the food's gonna be ready. I'm not gonna be cooking when you get there. Like when I get an invite to people's house and like, okay, get there at 7 and dinner starts at 8. I usually give people a window,
Hmm.
but we know our people. They gonna show up when they show up, and that's fine. But try to be there when the food is ready.
Right.
Okay. We don't
Right.
want nobody want I get greatly offended when people put my food in the microwave. It is like I did a labor of love. I fought the people at the grocery store. I went to the farm. I picked the things, and y'all want to heat myself up in the microwave. I know you a lot. Y'all about to make me go off of
Easy, easy.
But yes.
Let's move on to the biscuits.
Yes, the biscuits. No, but seriously, you don't want the food sitting out. Like give it an hour, 2, but if it's not sitting on a heat, but you really want to be careful with that. The outliers, anything with dairy, rice, and proteins need to be either heated or cold. And even when they're reheated, you can't just like blast them unless you put it in the microwave. They need to be a slow reheat. You can't immediately take them up to 165 degrees. It's going to dry them out and parts of it's not going to be cooked even. So just low and slow. Get one of those heating pads. I'll find one and I'll put it on the link or have Rich upload it so you guys can reference that. They're not too expensive. They're definitely worth it and not having to go to the ER,
Yeah.
to get an IV or
Right.
something
Right.
on the holidays. That's
Then
just
now
not
the party's over. Now we didn't put everything up. How many days? Because I have heard people. it'd be like a week and a half after I got the last bit of turkey I'm going to eat off of that thing. And I'm like, Thanksgiving is almost 2 weeks
Uh,
ago. Any
I'm
suggestions?
I'm gonna give you 3 days. I'm gonna give you 3 days. By the third day, you probably should put whatever it is in the freezer and just take it out when you want it. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. You know what I mean?
Don't let that carcass continue.
Do not do it. 4 days, you pushing it. 5 days, you're on your own. After that, I don't understand it. Like if it's really good, we don't want to be wasteful, right?
Right,
Put it in the
right.
freezer. It's okay. Be like, oh no, I don't want to freeze my mashed potatoes. Girl, you better put them dang things in the freezer. And when you heat them up, just look at the heating instructions. We're gonna add a little butter to it. Add a little, chicken broth. Like you could reinvent that. You can bring it back to life. It's fine. But typically 3 days.
Okay.
3 days.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah. 5 days is just, I don't know. Even when we meal prep, we say eat your food, cook it. You have 3 days. If you're not going to use it by that third day, put it in the freezer. It's not a
Right.
big deal.
Right.
Not a big
Right.
deal. You still gonna eat it if you're hungry enough.
That's right. Okay, so we've gone from preparing the kitchen and fires and handles turned inward, to food prep and how long to keep it.
I
Is there
think we're
anything
good.
else?
We're good. Well, now we've told you guys. We shared some key points with you on how to be safe. So the key takeaways are getting the blanket, the oven blanket, making sure you have your lids to your containers. Smothering a fire is key. Not what else we did? Put the lids in. We talked about the oven door. Make sure you're bringing the oven door completely down when you're taking it out, and get some
Electrical outlets.
the electrical outlets. That was huge. That's number one. And then also making sure you have good oven mitts when you're taking things out. And I think that's a really good way. Oh, one thing that we didn't talk about is knives. When you're using your knives, that's fine. Make sure most injuries happen with dull knives because you're trying really hard to cut stuff. Get your little stone, or most of those butcher blocks have a little blade on it. Every time you use your knife, go through that like an odd number, 3, 5, 7 times, and then rinse it off and then use it. And make sure it's always sharp and not avoid it. And then don't put them in a dishwasher because it kind of breaks down the blade. And when you have your dishwater, make sure you put your knives on the side. Don't just dump it in water and then your kid comes to help wash dishes and they put their hand in there and they cut their hand on the nap. That happens a lot. In our
I still
industry.
remember, I think I was 7 years old and I did that.
Mhm.
And when the water turned red, I freaked out. So, fair point.
Yep.
No knives in there.
No knives and no water that you can't see. So just put them on the side. And I think that's a good overview to guys get you started.
Yeah.
Definitely stay tuned. Thank you for joining. Next week, I have a whole list of things that we get to talk about. The secret ingredients that we talked about, all the dangerous things. Now we're going to talk about food disasters. As you guys are prepping for
I can't wait
your
for that one.
holidays, your dry turkey, we're going to talk about the major offenders, the collard greens, the
That's going to be
yams.
right in time.
That's going to be right in time. So you guys stay close and stay tuned.
All right. Take care, everybody.